It was Halloween night. Little did I know it was gonna be a horrifying night.
No, get off me!
Whatever was in there, it was trying to attack them.
No, get off me!
I thought it was all behind me. It was starting again.
We decided to go investigate.
Bonnie, what's wrong?
What did I get myself into?
Clearly, a door has been opened. And I just need to find a way to close that door.
Get out of here!
When you show an interest in the paranormal, there's a real danger that it will show an interest in you.
The Archangel, Prince of the Heavenly Armies, defend us!
I just want it to stop.
There are shadow figures down this hallway.
I was terrified.
10 years ago at this Los Angeles, California hospital, registered nurse Vanessa Palacios is finishing her shift.
What I love about being a nurse is that I get to help people that are in need that can't help themselves. So if there's any way that I can help them health-wise and they can revise their lives in a healthy manner, I love to be a part of that.
Tonight, it is Halloween. Vanessa and her friends are in search of excitement.
The night begins. It was a nice night, full moon, and my friends and I arrived at the hospital.
The abandoned hospital has been closed for decades, and it is infamous for its hauntings. It's a popular spot for thrill seekers.
I had gone several prior times to the hospital. I wasn't in no fear of anything. I was just very excited.
Can you believe this place exists?
It was Halloween night. Yeah, let's go.
I think we should go.
Yeah, let's do this.
Hey, Mel,
I became friends with the security guard who was there.
can you let us into the building?
Other people that would show up, he would charge them. He would let me in for free. So I was very lucky.
As long as you know, I gotta lock you in there while I make my rounds.
We will be locked inside until 4 o'clock in the morning till he returns.
Let's do it. Two of my other friends, they're gonna make out. They didn't want to go in the hospital with us because they were gonna be busy doing something else. I felt fine, and all of us did. We all felt the same way. We did not have any fear in us. Little did I know it was gonna be a horrifying night. You do not get any cell phone reception. There's nothing you can do if you run into danger in there. Inside, there is no electricity. It's dark. You cannot see anything. And it's a disaster. It looks like the people just ran out of there.
This way. What's up there? Room 203.
It's known that there is a child girl that's in there that talks, and she also scratches and pulls hair. So we decided to go to the second floor to go investigate that room. Go to the second floor, and we start walking down the hallway. My other friend, she was behind me, and she was the last one. The lights were flickering off and on. Once again, the hospital does not have electricity.
Bonnie?
I turned around and I see her standing stiff with her arms down.
Bonnie! Bonnie! What's wrong with her?
Her eyes were rolled back. All you can see was the white of her eyes. It looked like she was having a seizure.
Bonnie! Bonnie! Wake up!
I was shaking her and I was calling her name, screaming her name, Bonnie, wake up, wake up. And she did not wake up.
Call 911!
No reception.
We cannot get in contact with anybody outside of the hospital. So my friend started screaming, Vanessa, just slap her. She looked possessed. She just threw my hands off of her. She took them off like that. I just stood there looking at her run off and stunned, just stunned. I was stunned.
What's wrong with her?
We have to get her, now.
I grabbed my other friend and we started walking down the hallway to where she ran.
What is that?
All of a sudden, you see these black shaped heads coming out of the patient's room. I was in shock. I had to rub my eyes and is this what I'm seeing? They don't have eyes. It's just all pitch black. There are shadow figures down this hallway, and we need to get through this. I don't know how I got the courage, but I did.
Oh, shit!
It scares me.
3 huge claw marks.
Oh, my God.
And it was bleeding. I was terrified. How are you gonna fight demons? My mind was going 1,000 miles an hour. I was in fear. I was in fear of dying.
In the case of an aggressive haunting, it is not unheard of for victims to sustain scratches from unseen hands.
Trying to hold back my tears, and I just think of the fear that I was going through at that moment.
Are you okay?
What did I get myself into? I thought this was a good idea coming here on Halloween night. this is the most horrible thing that I could ever experience. But we had to go get my friend. There was no way we could have left her there after what happened to her. I'm afraid because she ran down the hall where the room 203, where the girl is known to be at.
Bonnie?
And I see her standing stiff with her arms down and her eyes rolled back.
Bonnie, wake up.
And she will not respond.
Bonnie.
Bonnie's extreme reaction to the activity taking place in the hospital may suggest that she is being influenced, if not outright assaulted, by some of the entities which walk its hallways.
Wake up.
And I got her from her shoulders. I go, Bonnie, wake up, Bonnie.
Bonnie.
And she didn't. She seemed like she was just not there, like she was not in the same world we were in. And she snapped out of it.
Where am I?
I was like, Bonnie. And she said, where am I? I go, we're in the hospital right now. And she's like, I have no recollection of anything that would just happen. And I go, we just need to get out of here now.
Oh my God. We have to go now.
We're so terrified, we gotta get out of here. And now these creatures are not popping their heads out of the doorways. Now they're crawling on the walls. I felt like I swallowed my tongue at that moment. I was such in fear. What am I gonna do, sit there and wait for daylight to come or somebody to save me? I closed my eyes as I was running because I didn't want to see the shadows that were crawling on the wall. I got scratched again. I got scratched on my calf, and I felt another burning sensation there as I was running. I did not want to stop. I didn't even have the courage to turn around and see if these demons were following us or these shadow figures were following us. I just wanted to get out.
It's locked.
The security guard is not coming for us till 4 in the morning, and it's only 3 o'clock in the morning at this time. What are we going to do?
We'll try and get her attention through the window. Louisa!
We were trying to yell at my friend to help us.
Louisa!
Help!
Louisa! Louisa!
And she couldn't hear us. The windows were rolled up from her car.
Help! Louisa! Do you hear that?
We heard footsteps. I saw the shadow of a man standing at the end of the hallway, standing there, staring at us. It's like you're waking up from a dream and you can't wake up and you're trying to scream, but nobody can hear you. Nobody can help you. It was about 7 feet tall, man-shaped, and it's just standing there looking at us. All of a sudden, you see these creatures once again coming out from the dark hallway, crawling on the walls. And they were coming towards us to the room where we were stuck in. The shadows, there's no face, nothing. It's just pitch black, darkness in the shadow, blacker than black. We thought that was it. I realized the man scared away the shadow figures. He wanted us. It felt exactly like I was in the Poltergeist movie. Like, why is this happening? Why is this going on?
Initially, Vanessa and her friends go into the old hospital because they're looking for a bit of fun. It sounds like a great idea. What they're not aware of is the fact that when you show an interest in the paranormal, there's a real danger that it will show an interest in you. Sometimes you can get far more than you bargained for.
It was terrifying because I was thinking if these demons can hurt me and can cause abrasions on me and bleeding, I thought that I was probably gonna be scratched again or something worse.
Oh my God.
We were crouching down behind the desk, trying to hide from it. What I said in my prayer was, please, God, give us the strength to get out of this alive, safely, and without getting harmed anymore. There's chairs flying all around, papers flying.
What is that? Did you hear something?
Yeah, maybe. Come on.
Oh my God.
What?
And finally, Luisa came out of the car that she was in front of the hospital, and she heard us. She finally heard us. And she found the security guard, told them that we were in danger. When he opened the door, everything stopped. There were no flying papers. There were no chairs flying around. The lights stopped flickering. There were no demons crawling. There was no man standing in front of us. Everything just stopped.
The paranormal activity seems to stop the moment the security guard opens the door. It's possible that the message the spirits intended to convey was for their eyes and their eyes alone.
I felt what happened that night, we did anger whatever was there. Changed my life and my mentality, the way people pass away, what happens to them after they pass away, or where do these demons come from? It's nothing to be messing around with. If you're just gonna be conjuring up spirits just for the fun of it, that's wrong. That's very wrong. And we should just leave the dead alone.
Dr. Carmine Crispino works in a local hospital in a wing dedicated to long-term care.
I specialize in internal medicine. I take care of nursing home patients. I've been doing it for about 20 years. I'm a man of science. As a medical professional, my job is to evaluate objective data.
The blood work came back and it's looking pretty good.
One less thing for me to complain about around here.
I never thought the paranormal happened in the hospital. My focus is on the objective data that I can use as a physician. For example, blood work, it's objective. A chest x-ray, it's objective. My focus is on the rational and provide best care for my patients.
Which becomes more difficult when a new crisis strikes.
Life as we know it has changed. I've been taking care of patients with COVID. These patients can't see their loved ones. No one's allowed in the hospital. People are dying.
With the pandemic reaching a peak, Carmine's life is about to be turned upside down.
I was taking care of a patient who had all the risk factors to experience the worst of COVID. She was elderly, she had some mild dementia, and she is dying of respiratory failure from COVID. And then I feel a change in temperature. The room gets ice cold. Hair on the back of my neck stands up. I knew right away what was going on. I was like, here we go. I thought it was all behind me.
2 years ago, something inexplicable invaded Carmine's life.
When I first start encountering the paranormal, I didn't know what to do. I started to experience phenomenon that I couldn't explain rationally. My skill set could not help me determine what I was dealing with, to explain what I was experiencing, what patients had seen with me.
He saw objects move on their own.
They have no eyes!
Patients terrified by an unseen presence and shadow figures that followed him to his home.
What do you want? Leave us alone!
No longer able to handle the strain on his professional and personal life, Carmine consulted a paranormal investigator who confirmed that spirits had targeted him at his home and at the hospital.
I'm the source for whatever reason. The attachment is directly related to me.
Carmine turned to his faith in an attempt to rid himself of the demons.
Through different prayers, through different modes of cleansing, to really lean on God and lead on higher powers that have dominion over the negative spirits that may be haunting me. Because you can't do it all yourself. Being in the medical community, taking care of patients in a hospital setting, I've taken a lot of personal criticism for reaching out to share my story with others. Friends and colleagues have shunned me, have grown distant. It disrupted my home life and led to a divorce. So I bought and moved into a brand new condominium. I was hoping that leaving my home, starting somewhere new, would detach whatever this was from me. The kids moved in, everything was great. I thought it was over. Unfortunately, I was wrong. It was starting again. I felt sickened. I felt afraid. I was terrified. I see multiple two-dimensional shadow beings. I couldn't count how many. They were across the entire room. The entire wall was filled. It just raised the level of fear. I've never experienced that before. Much taller than I've ever seen them, much wider than I've ever seen them, much more menacing than I've ever seen them. It's terrible. It's horrifying. It was incredibly scary for me.
Get out of here! Get out of here!
As a physician, this is an extremely heavy burden to carry. I have no one to turn to. I have no coworkers that I can reach out and say, hey, I need your help. I'm seeing a shadow person. There's no one that'll help me.
After his first encounter with the paranormal, Carmine's professional and personal life have both become significantly more chaotic. As things get worse professionally and as things get worse personally, he becomes increasingly vulnerable to interactions with these negative entities. And that in turn leads to the entities taking advantage. And so things get worse for him. So he becomes more vulnerable. And before he knows it, he's stuck in a vicious cycle that he cannot break out of.
Paranormal activity, it's starting again. I don't know what to do with this. What I heard was my name being called by a disembodied voice. Didn't sound like a human. I looked around, and right away I was like, oh boy, what's happening now?
Carmine isn't the only one who hears the voice.
You okay?
Yeah, sorry. I just thought I heard someone calling my name. There's no one around, though, so...
She was really nervous because there's no one else in the area. We can't pinpoint where it's coming from. We just look at each other. Like, what are we hearing?
I'm not crazy, right?
Believe me, I know.
I felt validated. I was glad that someone else, another healthcare provider, actually came to me with a real experience.
No, get off me! Get off me, please! Get off me! No, get off me, please! Get off me!
Patient said, there's something pressing on my chest. I feel like he's trying to choke me. She freaked out.
Get off me, please! 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 No!
They feel like they were being oppressed.
No! No! Get off me, please! Get off! No!
We just saw nothing.
Please, get off!
Whatever was in there was negative to them. It was trying to attack them.
Get off me, please! Get off! Get off me! Please! No!
We're here now. It's okay.
Clearly, there's something going on, something trying to feed off of our patients, menacing them in that room.
We all have a certain amount of power in our lives, and sometimes we give it away without knowing it. And Carmine is now in a place where he has given his personal power to these entities. He doesn't mean to, it's not his fault, but he is stuck between a rock and a hard place. And if he's to escape, the first thing he needs to do is set some boundaries and start taking it back.
The next day, the patient was removed from the room. And I said, let's put a video recorder overnight to see what we would catch. Something to help validate what we are experiencing. Physicians love data. They love hard evidence. Let me try to get some evidence and show it to others and let them decide. The next morning, I come back into the hospital, eager, but yet really nervous about what I may find. The video doesn't show anything out of the ordinary. It's just a bed in the middle of the night.
I'm not sure if there's anything.
But when I started listening to the audio, what I heard was terrifying. We hear these inhuman growls.
What the hell was that?
It was heard not only by myself, but from the nurse and a colleague who is a pulmonologist. It was scary. What we heard didn't feel like it came from this world. I know that's a bold statement. I'm a physician. I'm not some theologian or expert in religion, but it just, at my core, felt evil.
Oh my God, I don't believe this. What is it?
And now on actual audio, we have evidence of something which felt quite validating. Clearly, there's something I'm dealing with that I have no training for.
Growls don't generally come from human spirits. So we are again looking at something that is non-human in nature, and almost certainly something aggressive. Now there is definite objective evidence that he's not crazy, that he's not making this up or imagining it. He can prove to people empty rooms don't growl. And whatever's in this room is definitely not friendly.
And that's when I decided to reach out to the Catholic priest.
Guys, it's gonna sound a little crazy. I just got off the phone and I wanna pitch an idea by you. We get in touch with a priest. I know it might sound a little far-fetched, but I think it's something that we need to do. I think that we can all agree that this has gone too far and that our patients are experiencing these things.
The administration had given permission to seal off the room until the Catholic priest can come in and perform the blessing. This is demonic. This room needs to be cleansed. I had this epiphany. There are things, there are entities, there are beings that are beyond our perception that have somehow made their way into this world and are preying on us. I'm feeling extremely nervous. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm expecting a potential interaction with a being.
Can I ask you a question?
I just said, how often do you deal with this type of thing?
More often you'd think.
After everything I've been through, I felt that maybe I could win one small battle. I'm not saying I'm going to win the war, but at least feel empowered. Maybe I can push back a little bit. Clearly, a door has been opened, and I just need to find a way to close that door, to seal that shut, so that moving forward, I can have a normal life and provide best care for my patients.
O most glorious Prince of the heavenly armies, Saint Michael the Archangel, defend us. A prayer for Saint Michael the Archangel. In the name of the Father, and in the Son, and of the Holy Ghost. Amen.
The ritual entails reading from the Bible, incantations. The clergy is distributing holy water throughout the room.
In the name of Saint Michael, cast you out. Saint Michael,
But I just wanted to stop.
the Archangel, Prince of the heavenly armies, defend us. Cast you out.
I want a normal life, rid of these beings.
In this world of darkness,
There's an uptick in energy.
defend us against the rulers of darkness. In Saint Michael's name, I cast you out. I cast you out.
see something that's not like the other shadow beings I've seen. I was terrified. It's small, it's diminutive. It's maybe 2.5, 3 feet tall. It was not human. It was creepy.
In the name of St. Michael, I cast you out. I cast you out. Defend us! Cast you out. I cast you out. The Archangel, defend us against this demon. Defend us in this world. There's dark demons.
And then it was gone. The room was totally calm.
The priests engage in a type of exorcism, and this is never a benign ceremony. Exorcisms are usually violent, aggressive ceremonies. Great forces can be unleashed. It's something akin to a battle rather than a ritual.
After the cleansing, the room is quiet. We have patients in there all the time. There has been no patient complaints. There's been a lot less paranormal activity that I've been experiencing in the hospital.
How are we feeling today? Sleeping through the nights?
Yeah, there's been nothing. Nothing at all.
I felt it was a small victory. I felt empowered by the fact that colleagues have listened to me. These experiences of the past several years have really worn me down. I'm actually afraid to go to sleep at night. I'm afraid of what might be watching me or lurking around the corner. I feel this is just a never-ending battle. I'm always on guard. I'm always defending myself.
Get out of here!
There's not a moment of peace. I'm always looking over my shoulder, wondering what's the next thing that's gonna happen to me. It's exhausting. My hope for the future is to find some peace, to find some closure, but I'm just trying to live day by day and just try to take my life back.